Okay, and I believe I am live. I should be live, hopefully. Oh, looks like I am. Sorry. Can I hear me? There we go. Hey, Big Cat, don't forget to send out the tweet. Thank you, Cornbread. Cornbread killing it tonight. I almost did. It's always crazy trying to get this show on. I hear audio. Super Dusky, Cornbread. Super Dusky said it is gym time. Purple Goop, Jordan Salafalo, Randy. Let me drink some water. Ramsey the artist. Nathaniel Fogo, Austin. The Tumblr post should be up, but thank you for that. Adrian. Facebook post is also up. Austin, stop. I actually did Instagram. So I'm feeling good. MySpace post. I had a MySpace. I think that would freak people out if anyone's still on it. Al Vasquez, K-Master, Pup, Friendster. Oh, I had one of those too. Hello, Zodberg. I think I got everyone. Al Vasquez, Austin, Cornbread. Anyway. This is Movie Crap Live. And here, where is the... Let's switch over. Hello, everyone. How is it going? Welcome. Whoa, that went what? Hello, everyone. Is it that I went like that? Why did it get red right there? Anyway, sorry about both my Sharona post. Do you have a Vine? I did have a Vine, and in the early days of Teen Titans Go, I would post like little clips because that I thought were funny, a little bit, or random TV things. I'd film from my phone off from the TV. It didn't really get anywhere. Jim is the most movie Twitter. What Tom is to Jim is to movie Twitter. What Tom is to social. Oh, that'd be cool. MySpace will be fun over. I don't think so. With MySpace. And hello, Lucas Anderson. Anyway, this is the show. Sorry, it was sort of light. I've never heard of like where the fuck are you posts. But I was like, there needs to be more videos. But I was working on the new Film Rat video, which is out for patrons now. I've seen a few people have liked it, watched it, commented. That is what I consider to be the third episode. I kind of have no rules in terms of what is and is not an episode. But that will come out tomorrow. It'll be a premiere, all that stuff. As well as there should be, obviously... As you know, you can tell from this, there is typically, let's move this down, around there, a Shrek review because of the Shrek series, the final of the Shrek films. And then if you're also wondering what's going on with Puss in Boots, the first Puss in Boots movie will be after that for the fourth episode of Film Art Video, which will actually be out in a month. I've been working all year on off and on between everything else, Film Art Video 3 and 4, and that will be out in a month or so, and then there'll be a song with that. So in that we will get you will get Puss in Boots 1 and the most recent Puss in Boots, and we'll be all caught up. I'll have done everything in the Shrekiverse, I guess, until Shrek 5 comes out. So that'll be cool. And then I will pick a new series to go along with the Film Art Video cartoons. I don't know. I sort of have ideas, but I don't want to announce it because I have to make another one, and I have it written, but I don't have I haven't recorded it, and I haven't I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. But Shrek 4 will be after that, and then after that I have Godzilla -1 film. So I got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, it's going to be cool. Life's been pretty decent, I guess. Sorry it's been a little bit. We've had people staying here and stuff, and it's hard to film or do stream and film in general when people are staying here. Although I like it when they stay here. I just can't. It's a little harder to figure out. But I should do more Kung Fu Pandas. I've only done Kung Fu Panda 3, actually. I should review more Kung Fu Pandas. But that, I guess I have a quicker deadline for because the Kung Fu Panda comes out soon. But anyway, it's been good. We saw the Rockefeller Center tree recently. That was neat. I saw Godzilla -1. That was cool. You'll hear more of my thoughts in the review. I feel like there's probably other things. I'm just like a rush to actually get here, but trying to get through the Christmas season. I think it'll actually be. I'm sorry I'm using this section to hype up shit, but this will probably be straight videos from now till about the 23rd, 24th will be the last video before Christmas. But that's what I hope. We'll see if that happens. But there'll be lots of Christmas specials, including the Jim Henson Christmas special I do every year. So I'm excited for that. But anyway, also I know Ryan Walterson's not here, but he had a viral tweet about the small soldiers, which is really cool, and congrats to him on that. Ryan's a great dude and he deserves it. I'm trying to think of sorry. Nothing too crazy. I don't know if there's anything, just doing stuff with the kids. They're having fun, getting ready for the holidays, always feeling like the panic of the holidays is hitting, the craziness of the holidays, but I still quite like them, and I still like enjoying them with my kids. And I don't know, I feel like I'm not good at being super negative, because if I'm super negative at the end, I'm like, but at least I get to make these. At least my kids are okay. At least the cat, like, Toulouse is sleeping on the couch. That's nice. It's like as bummed as you can get with life and the stresses of life. I'm always like, well, there's always this thing. And so it's like, there's a good Godzilla movie right now in theaters, and it's Japanese. Like, what the fuck? This is amazing. So it's, I don't know. I feel like I did not prep for the, oh my God, I have a cool story. A fun fact that I've been waiting to stay on the stream that I found out recently. Oh my God, I've been holding this since last stream. Okay, I just remember this. Okay. So I found that I don't think this has gone. Hello, Nanbox64. I don't think this has gone super viral, and I don't know how many people know about this. So this is not an exclusive thing. This is publicly out there. But this is gonna sound random, but I'm gonna tell this, and then we'll get on to the stream. So do you guys know? Vanilla Ice, right? And he made Ice Ice Baby, the song. And do I have a Turbo Man doll? Haha, I get it. So Ice Ice Baby, that song. So he infamously said, oh, it's not the same song. There's the little bitty ching. It's different, blah, blah. And everyone still to this day gives him shit for sampling Under Pressure by David Bowie and Queen and all that stuff. So this has gone on for years, and people bring it up and stuff. It was a bigger deal when Ice Ice Baby came out. So there's this interview with Vlad TV, who we can debate, or DJ Vlad, or whatever it is. He did an interview with somebody, and he talks about how he got all this shit for that, and he kind of got the brunt of the clearance lawsuit thing. All right. So then, years later, Vanilla Ice actually kept all his money, invested in real estate. He did okay for himself. He made a new metal cover of Ice Ice Baby, which is a real thing, produced by the producer of Korn's first album. It's not a joke. Hello, Cartwright. So anyway, he buys back his masters finally, because he has all his money. Why he'd buy more masters than just Ice Ice Baby, I don't know. But hey, go white boy, go might be a big hit again. I don't know. Or his ballad. But anyway, so he buys the rights back. And then, since he's had this Under Pressure thing for his whole life, he calls Queen. And he's like, how much is the publishing for Under Pressure? And Queen and David Bowie's estates are like, well, it's this much. And he's like, okay, I'm going to buy, this is real, the publishing rights to Under Pressure. So, presently, the end of that whole saga of, like, if you ask someone older, they will bring that up and how that's bullshit. The end of that whole saga is Vanilla Ice owns Under Pressure. So anytime you hear Under Pressure, Vanilla Ice makes money. And anytime you hear Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice makes money. So in the end, Vanilla Ice got it all. That's what happened. That's a real thing, apparently. He owns both things. And Queen and David Bowie's estate took the money and sold him the publishing rights to Under Pressure. So that is my big, like, huge pop culture thing I learned recently. I wasn't sure how to, like, tweet that or something, but I think it is an insane insane kind of end to that whole saga that we didn't know was happening. So, yeah. No, because Vanilla Ice invests in real estate. I mean, he called them and contacted them. They could have said, we're not going to sell publishing to him. So he didn't do anything notorious or nefarious or something like that, to my understanding. I haven't heard their side. But hello, Rocket Lobex. But that is apparently true. Okay, the chat is finally getting... Okay, so I want to be clear, it sounds like he did it, like he called them. It was an even fair exchange of money to publishing. But that's pretty wild. That's pretty... Okay, everyone's... I think that... I like Cornbread. That's like a horrible decision on their part. I mean, yeah, that is. Well, apparently they see that what happened was they don't really control much of it. It was like Freddie Mercury's estate and stuff. So weren't making that much off of it. So it kind of worked out for them, supposedly. So, but anyway, it's already out there in an interview thing. So I don't know if I really want to make a short, maybe, I don't know. People seem to like that. So maybe I'll think about it. Thank you for that suggestion, Corporate. Anyway, so, before, there hasn't been a super chat yet. So I guess I won't talk about the energy drink till then, not to e-bag or anything like that. But, let's get on to continue this. So this, although it's been revealed because Cornbread did guess it correctly, but I guess some of you probably maybe didn't see that tweet or something. But this and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through my Patreon, where you can get you can watch the video that's coming out tomorrow, right now actually. So if you're a patron, you should definitely do that. Or through super chats during the show, where I will drink this. I'll show it to you. I guess I'll show it to you because it's already been revealed. Okay, maybe it's obscure. Okay, maybe I will review. So I will show off the energy drink. All right. Well, Zane Powers can be the first one to the Bob Ross energy drink, because they said it was an artistic one. I thought Bob Ross. I need to start writing down which ones I have, because I go to this one like dispensary that has fun energy drinks, and I need to start writing that, because I was like, wait, which ones have I done? But anyway, Bob Ross today. I thought Bob Ross was fun. I could not find the Zoa Christmas one. You can get it on Amazon, a 24 pack, but I don't need 24 Christmas energy drinks. So Bob Ross tonight. Let's try it out. First, Zane Powers, Go Ninja. You mean like the cool streamer guy? He's the grocery store guy to me, Ninja. He's the guy. He's not in the grocery store anymore, but there's a little bit. I was like, motherfucker, you're in every aisle. Why are you on plastic wrap? That doesn't even make sense. All right. Cheers to you, Zane Powers. Super Dudowski says, show it. I guess I did. What? It tastes... I think all these taste the same that are by this company, but it's not so bad. Thank you, Super Dudowski, for that. All right. I'll put this up here. All right. So this and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through Patreon. You can watch film art video. You heard me say that. Or I will shout you out while I drink some Red Bull and keep myself awake during the show. The other thing, I tell you more Vanilla Ice facts. Did you know that the guy who wasn't it the guy who shot, whoever shot Cool as Ice is an actual good DP. I forget who it was now, but I think it's not Deakins. Is it Deakins? Or is it the guy? Anyway, Cool as Ice, remarkably well shot. But okay, Lucas, let me get to this part. But sorry, you guys making me giggle. So, blah, blah, blah. The Patreon has all sorts of cool features. I'm going to put out a actual film art Christmas draw picture, which will go out next week. I need to finish that up, and that will go out next week. You get exclusive things. There'll be the commentary series. You get more power in the movie review vote. You help support the show, which will help me do all sorts of cool things, like actually promote this stuff with stickers and stuff, which definitely 100% helps. If anyone is from a sticker, by the way, give a comment. I'd love to hear how you got here, or a flyer. You guys very much help support and help spread the message of the show and help me be less poor and stuff. That's kind of neat too. So thank you all very much for your support if you're financially able to do so. If not, just giving a like to this video always helps, or subscribing, and you get cool things like a throwback video, I put out every week, and all sorts of the community posts, and when the videos go up, and all sorts of stuff like that. But if you just simply like coming around and watching every now and then, thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, Mblood T. I thought it was that. Was John Kaminsky, but he did a good job. It's better shot than you think. I remember watching it on USA at like 2 a.m. in the 90s. I was like, what the fuck is this? Whoever shot this? He like went from Cool as Ice to Schindler's List in a remarkable short amount of time. Lucas Anderson said Vanilla Ice lording it over Ice Cube and Ice T. Probably. They don't have Queen money. All right, cheers to you. What was I gonna say? All right. If you like everyone in the chat right now, he's also the DP on If. I didn't know that. Man, everybody ends up working with that guy. Even I think Kevin Smith did for Jersey Girl. This and everything I do. No, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you like everyone in the chat and you want to hang out with them, and you're not able to be here during a live show, I very much recommend you go to the Discord. It is run very well by Zane Powers and Austin. They do an awesome job. If you want to hang out during movie watches, which I believe they're having tomorrow night, you can do the Ask Jim section. There is the licensed playing card channel where I show off my playing cards. I still have the Spirited Away ones. I might need to just switch it out but these are remarkably sturdy. It's pretty amazing. But if you have ones, especially ones you get over Christmas, let me know. As well as all sorts of cool. You can post about movie news. I post about things like I asked the chat in general, what do you want me to talk about during the show? Also, not tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. Austin has corrected me, but they do movie watches, and if you join it, on Saturday. I'm sorry, Austin. Thank you for that. If you join it, you will get to do that. And if it's, it's open 24 hours. So if you want to answer the daily question of the day, ask me a question in the Ask Jim channel. I will post. I try to answer as much, although I need to get to that. I'll get to that later, and all of that stuff as well. As well as you can follow me. First, sorry, Austin's Empire's doing an amazing job. You should really go check that out. Also, hang out. Also, I'm on TikTok. I have a personal Instagram. Just posted something on there tonight. I have professional Instagram where all my reels and stuff go. And then TikTok, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook fan page. It's all in the description. Check it out if you would like to. All right. I think that's all the things I say in that part, right? Patreon, Discord. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I hope I did all that right. Probably didn't. All right. Let's. Oh, and I hope you guys like the bracket video. I don't know if I'll do that again. They're pretty easy to film, and I just really wanted to get a video out because it's been a few days, and I was like, oh, I kind of feel bad, even though I don't think anyone felt that way. So I just wanted to do that, but it seemed fun. I don't think anyone hated it or anything. I might do another one when I have the chance to, but I probably do more Same Powers as Powers. So maybe I'll do. They're super easy to do. So it's, I think, if I don't like to put out more than a video a day. If you hadn't noticed, cop out of the editings. Oh, don't cop out of the endings. Oh, yeah, I wanted to bring that up, actually. When I filmed that bracket thing, I'm not doing a bit. I actually was having trouble coming up with it, and then I saw it ended, and I went, oh, well, I guess this is funny. So that's not, I'm not trying to be, like, cool and be like, I really couldn't decide. I actually had a hard time deciding. So that's actually what happened. It's actually, but I will do another one. I think there's a 90s one I saw, maybe, I don't know. Whenever I have the chance to do it, I actually filmed it because I wanted a video to go out on Wednesday, and I was like, I have a feeling that is not going to happen. I'm going to film this movie bracket just in case. And that was a smart move, I guess. All right. So Austin says, I just suffered through 8 crazy nights last week. What is the obsession with 8 crazy nights that people have? I'm curious about that, but maybe I should review it at some point. I don't think I've done a Hanukkah movie before. So cheers to you, Austin. We do a lot of Christmas. There is so much Christmas media. It is like real ridiculous. like, I think there's like 3 different Disney Plus movies. My daughter played me. We're gonna watch like the Naughty Nine, and they're like kids who go and break into Santa's workshop and stuff so they can get off the naughty list. That one actually, concept wise, I'm into it, by the way. Tunji723 said, my theater finally added The Boy and the Heron. I already saw it, but now I can see it again without going to a Manhattan AMC. I'm curious where you live, Tunji723. But yeah, that I'm glad you don't have to go to Manhattan. It always sucks having to go to Manhattan. Manhattan, or as I like to call it, Office Building Island. But yeah, cheers to you, Tunji723. Austin said, then I proceeded to watch it 8 times each night. You watched, so 8 crazy nights. You watched it 64 times? Jesus. Cheers to you, Austin. You're doing a good fight there. I'm going to see Boy and the Heron. I kind of rushed to see Godzilla -1 because I thought when I saw it, because I kept seeing it sell out everywhere and everyone's telling me that, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna miss my chance before Thursday because Toho's gonna pull it. So I was like, no, I was like very insistent, like, I am sorry, I am going to to Godzilla -1. And my ticket's actually pretty cool, but we'll show you can see that when the review comes out. Hype. All right. Would you see my ticket stub? You're gonna go crazy. You will. It is actually cool. I'm just gonna 8 times each one a day. So you watch it 8 times? That's still a lot of times. All right. So first story we're gonna talk about is the motherfucking box office. And I wanted to bring up, let's talk about Godzilla first, because why aren't you behaving? Box office Muju. Like, come on. All right, I wanted to bring this up because it's kind of insane what's going on at the box office. So first off, sorry, hold on. First off, we're just going to talk about the box office stuff first because it gets more relevant, but it's actually like cool. So Boy and the Heron and Godzilla -1 are absolutely killing it. Part of this is because one of the things that's interesting about Godzilla -1 is if they actually do a daily box office. So every day there's a box office they report on. And because Renaissance, the Beyonce movie, only plays on the weekend, much like the Taylor Swift thing, which I fucking hate that shit. I really don't like that. I like Beyonce. I like Taylor Swift. I do not like how they're doing these movies where it's like more expensive just because it's them, and only on weekends. It's sort of like like a lot of like the workforce who can't take off weekends. Like, it took me forever to not have to work on weekends, and so like not everyone can do that. That's a very privileged position to be in, as well as financially making it more expensive. So I don't particularly like that, and I will continue to object to that because I don't think it's cool. I think it's really fucked up, and I think it's putting a bad precedent. And if this is the future we're going to have, where Christopher Nolan can charge more, or the Marvel can charge more, or whomever, that's not a great future for any of us. But, however, Godzilla -1 was number 1 on several days because Beyonce just isn't fucking there. So Godzilla was number 1 3 times last week on each days, which shocked everyone. I saw Godzilla on a Monday, and it was packed. So I was not surprised by it. Boy and the Heron is just doing solid business. It was number 1 ever since it opened last Friday, which is pretty incredible. But last weekend, what we were seeing with this, I think, first off, Boy and the Heron, it only made $13 million to be number 1, which isn't insane necessarily, but it's crazy that it is Hayao Miyazaki film is number 1 at the box office, as well as the Godzilla -1 is number 3. This is the first time 2 Japanese films, and both having releases. I don't think Godzilla -1 is, I don't think there's a dubbed version, but having most of the releases subtitled is crazy. This doesn't happen with foreign films, never happened with Japanese films before. I think my personal, and they're both opening in some insane amount of screens, like over 2,000 screens, or more screens, I think. A lot more screens this weekend, so they're going to continue to be in a lot of theaters, which is crazy. Like, I remember when I saw Princess Mononoke it thankfully actually played in the theater at the Towson Commons General Cinema, which doesn't exist anymore, right down the street from me. But I think it was like that was the only place. There's like 4 places in the East Coast or something. So and Godzilla, like some of the Millennia era films, barely came out. Like the first one did, got a bigger release, but the rest of them didn't. So this really shows the fandom is grown over these years. I think part of it. I see you, Dan. Actually, I was going to quote Dan. I was going to quote you. Sorry. He actually said to me a long time ago, "It is the best time to ever be a Godzilla fan," and I agree with that because first off, you have a show, Japanese film series going on. You have the Hollywood stuff, but also because of the internet and because of streaming, because of more availability, people have been able to watch all of the films more. Like it used to be, you could just get the Showa era at Blockbuster, you could just get some Heisei era or something like that, and a few of the newer ones would actually premiere straight on the Sci-Fi Channel or something. But because of availability and because when Gojira came out in 2006, 2004, I think, in America, I think the popularity and the view of Godzilla has grown, and it's made people view Godzilla more and get more excited about it and get more into it than they could before because it was sort of like a disorganized mess before. But Dan says, I just quoted, he was the one before when we were talking about it a long time ago, brought this up, but he said, never would I have thought that things would get to this point with the Godzilla series. Nothing but excitement for the future. Cheers to you, and I agree. Cheers to you, Dan. That's a good guy right there. But I do think the same thing is true with... Oh, that's true, the Godzilla Pluto channel. No, I'm not sure who's fully running the franchise here, but they're doing a really good job. But same with when Heron, like, think how with Max having Ghibli there and Ghibli being more streaming lately, how that's helped them tremendously, and how over the years, like, it used to be like, oh, you get a few and people who liked it really loved it, but it's like grown and grown. And I think this says more about like franchises having great quality control because, you know, the last Japanese Godzilla film was Shin Godzilla, which is a great movie. And I don't think Hayao Miyazaki's ever made a bad movie. Although Wind Rises, it's a difficult one. I'm like, I don't think this is because of the success of Wind Rises. I think it's because of Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle and Kiki and all that stuff. And also with animated films, I noticed the public has a hard time dating things, let's say. Disney's fault on that one. But it's interesting to see these two blowing up as they are and people being... Because when I saw Godzilla -1, people were like excited. And this is a fun feeling. This is an optimistic time for movies right now. And I hope both films continue to thrive. It's really, really cool. But I do think it's because... they're both films you're like, oh, I want to see that on the big screen. And I'm hoping this will open up more avenues for films, possibly not just theirs, but like let other studios develop to be that beloved by the public. I don't know. You know, G-Kids did a really good job. Industry people have even been saying G-Kids doing a great job, including having the dubbed and the subtitles. Like, industry people who don't give a shit about animation have been saying that. The other thing is, like, don't count out Trolls, because Trolls is holding strong with $82 million, and it's just like killing it very quietly. I've noticed Trolls is the animated film of the year that like no one's paying attention to, and it's made it's at 82 million. That is fairly insane what's going on. I think I'm gonna miss Silent Night. I really kind of want to. Sorry, I'm just looking at the box office there, but good for Godzilla. I think it's really cool. Did you know? Zane Power says, did you know Doug Walker liked Tales from Earthsea? I'm not surprised because he is a huge Secret of Nim fan. In fact, I actually think one of his few great... I'm not a big fan of him, but his Secret of Nim stuff is legit good. Like, he went through like all the chronology and all the different things for it, so he deserves a little credit. Check that out if you haven't. I think I've talked about it before, but it's like watching him actually care about something is weird. But I sort of get why he would. But cheers to you, Zane Powers. All right, moving on. What's the next story here? Okay. So I don't know if you heard. I think we all had the same thought when we heard that Tubi will be getting DC movies. Now, in most streaming shows, they would say, well, Tubi, Tubi's free. Warner's trying to make money. Apparently, it's might be falling apart, even though a lot of people have brought up that the people who predicted that also said Sony would fall apart within a year in 2014. However, I think we all knew what was going on at Tubi and who did the deal to get the DC movies there. And I'm going to tell you the story of how Tommy Tubi got the DC movies over at Tubi. So Tommy, he does a good job over at Tubi. He comes in half stoned with a big cup full of, we're not sure. Mostly he's stoned and drunk all the time, and he falls asleep at work, and they're fine with it because I'm sorry, I didn't do that. I'm sorry, that's YouTube. Wait, there's no Doug December too? I thought it was just November. Oh my God. All right, but anyway, Tommy Tubi, he's there. He's fallen asleep a lot. He sent a weird email that we should only buy Heisei Godzilla films because everybody has Showa era and everyone knows the Millennia era is for pussy sellouts, and they didn't appreciate that email. And he said, "Why? How is it for pussy sellouts?" And he said, "I don't fucking know, but it makes sense. We should have Heisei era only on Tubi." And they said, "Tommy, please stop doing that with the Godzilla films. It's fucking weird." And he says, "I'm not dropping this. I'm only buying Heisei era films. Fuck Showa. Everybody is Showa. I'm not doing Millennia era. That's for pussy babies. Everybody knows that." And they're like, "Fine, Tommy, whatever. You basically run this company." But his boss is like, "Look, you've done a lot of weird shit. That PowerPoint presentation you made your assistant, who you never talked to, do. You fell asleep during, got up and clapped, and then gave her huge regard for that. Regardless, it's been weird, Tommy. You're a weird dude. You got to come up with something good for Tubi." And he goes, "All right, listen, boss guy, Senior Tubi, I guess." They all have to have the last name Tubi. It's a weird requirement to work there. And he was like, "Look, he's like, you got to do something." And Tommy's like, "Look, I kind of been working on this thing. I don't want to but I did get an email from my boy David Zazzy, who I call Zazzy Beats, and he is, I should just give Tommy Carl's voice from Aquatine. Is that better?" He goes, I was just like doing, I hope no one hears me do this. I saw Zazzy Beats email me, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I got to email him back. So I did. He emailed me like 4 months ago, but Zazzy's kind of basic, and he got some problems, So I emailed him back. I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take your DC films off your fucking hands, you fucking loser." And I took and then, so I got them for you. They're going to be on Tubi. I got all of them. He's like, "How many did you get?" I think I got like all of them. I got the Batmans, Forever and Robin. I got the Adam West Batman. I don't think that logistically makes sense, but David Zaslav's kind of stupid. He needs to discover he has no fucking brains. You know what I'm saying? Boom. But, sorry, I don't know how I got on this. This is Tommy Tubi now. We're going with this. But, I got it. So we got all the DC. He goes, "What do you mean you got all the DC?" "I got all the fucking DC. There's no more DCs. I got them all. It's all coming to Tubi." He said he's doing Zazzy Beats got it for me. It goes, "I think that's an actress." Nah, that's what I call fucking David Zazzy. He's a fucking idiot. He's gonna crumble that company. Like who watches Discovery except in, emergency room bathrooms or something. But yeah. So we got DC films over here. I hope somebody clicked on the stream just for this part. Just now here me doing weird white. I got all of them, and he's like, "What? Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, I think I kept my job. I'm gonna go take a nap and get high and stuff." "You're gonna what now?" "Don't worry about it. I'm actually gonna fall asleep because I got tickets for Godzilla -1 at like 7, and I don't really want to leave work and come home. You know what I'm saying? That fucking sucks. So I'm gonna take a nap. You can enjoy watching the stupid Flash with Ezra what's his face and whatever." So anyway, that's the story about Tommy Tubi got DC. I hope everyone was that okay? Should I not do the voice? Please let me know. But yeah, Tommy Tubi doing his job again. Then he fell asleep and snored, and they were like, "Should we wake him up?" He goes, "No, guys. No, I don't think I could do anything success. He's like, no, guys, we're gonna let Tommy snore today because he got a Superman, and that, and they're just like, this is the dumbest place to fucking work. Half those people are gonna try to work for Pluto, and Tommy's gonna block all their emails before he takes another nap. Anyway, they have DC movies because Max is falling apart. I think that was that a little unhinged. I'm sorry. Tommy 2 is fine. I could do a better one. I think I just went through. Anyway, no, no Santa Christ February, but then, oh my god. All right. Anyway, I hope that wasn't. If that was too much, please let me know. Sorry, I can do a Carl voice. I guess because it's late and I don't know. We'll change it as it goes. Next time we have Tubi news. You know, we got Tubi news every. I hope this didn't kill the Tommy Tubi character, me being stupid. All right. Before we move on to other stuff, Pixar is coming back to theaters. The three movies that were not put in theaters, or not very much because of COVID: Soul, Turning Red, and Luca. Soul, which every kid wants to see again, is January 12th. Turning Red will be on February 9th, and then Luca will be on March 22nd. They are all going to have Burrow, Kit Bull, and For the Birds will play before them. I'm not sure which of those will play before each. I think Burrow was supposed to play before Soul, so I think Tommy is a different bit. You know what? I will try to do that. Sorry. So I'm not sure which of those shorts they're going to play before each, but I think Burrow would play before Soul. Turning Red, I don't know. It's sort of weird because two of those came out before those movies came out, because Kitbull was like before the pandemic, I believe. So I'm a little lost on like the shorts aspect, which I found out while researching this. I might take the kids to Turning Red and Luca, but Soul, it's like, I get they probably do that because Pete Docter runs it. And we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the Soul thing. Yeah, that's the part that I'm like, I don't know. I don't love that movie, but I think it'll be interesting to see when those come out, how they do and stuff. But I think Turning Red and Luca will be fun, and it is cool that they are actually finally giving them full theatrical releases. And since the first 2 months of this year are not great box office wise, it's kind of cool that they're actually trying to do something. So, and I also think we should encourage Disney to make re-releases, because they should do that for their classic animated films as well. Austin says, why don't you call your friend Frylock? You were a bad influence, then you were a bad influence, then threatened to poke your eye out. I want to do something with him. I really like that guy. Cheers to you, Austin. I hope he's doing all right. He got paid well for Aqua Teen. I think a lot of people do that. All right. Now let's move on to the A24 stuff. I'm going to do all together because it's like I don't want to keep going back to it and make it a little more organized. So The Rock, it was announced, is going to be in the Safdie brothers' new movie called A Smashing Machine. It'll be about the legendary. He will play Mark Kerr, the legendary MMA fighter from the No Holds Barred era of UFC. I think we talked about this forever ago. I believe we did, how A24 was looking for more mainstream kind of hits because they need money. They can't just be making weird Beau Is Not Afraid movies and not actually make money. And I think they know their ambitions are bigger than just the smaller horror stuff. And as we've seen with them, like making X and the other one, sorry, I need to watch that one. But the X kind of franchise, and then we saw the what's happening with Talk to Her or Talk to Me, sorry, the Almodovar firm, that they are trying to make horror franchises. They're trying to find ways to financially blossom a little bit more. So working with The Rock sort of makes sense as well. But also I think with the Safdie brothers movie, this also, The Rock has not been sort of doing 100% great. And I think this is kind of half. A24 wants to get bigger. The Rock fell down because of Black Adam, and they're sort of meeting each other in the middle there. I think this is the right move for The Rock. I know Patrick Willems made that video. I watched the video about The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. They need to do more interesting stuff. It's kind of interesting today. We got If with Ryan Reynolds. All the stuff with Ryan Reynolds feels very basic Ryan Reynolds shtick, and he's thriving. And hello, Sinram. I'm actually going to bring up your question during this segment because that has something to do with this later on with this A24 thing. But I think it is a good move for The Rock, and I hope this all works out, because it's also probably because think of how much more favorably Adam Sandler is viewed post Uncut Gems. Could he realize, and I'm like, actually, I'm not being silly about this, brand wise, could it make more sense to just do an indie movie, get people to be like, hey, The Rock's pretty cool, and then he can do the regular Rock bullshit for like the next 5 years? I could see that happening too. I think Adam Sandler basically did that. You know, he comes back and does like a Bomback thing or something like that, and then he does his regular ass bullshit, and people like look at him critically a lot better. He gets more notices. People are a lot more favorable to him. Maybe The Rock's sort of realizing, maybe I'll do one or two indie movies that I think I can do, especially because films about wrestling are happening more and more. He could definitely do a good job with that. So Nathaniel Foga says, don't tell me that dancing is forbidden. Cheers to you, Nathaniel Foga. That's where is I going with this? I think that's very interesting, as well as the IMAX thing is also interesting, but I'll get to that's for Civil War. Oh, we'll talk about it now, I guess. So the trailer for, well, I'll talk about, yeah, I'm already talking about it. So the trailer for Civil War came out. The basic premise of this film is that America is in a civil war, and it, I think, is like presently. And I thought it was, and Sinram actually asked in the questions, the Patreon question, he says, any thoughts on the trailer for Alex Garland's Civil War? And that is what I'm going to do. Thank you for being a patron, Sinram. But, and hello, how's it going? The Civil War thing, my thing with Alex Garland, I did not see the Men movie. I like Ex Machina. I kind of didn't like it as much as everyone. I was a little like, not as impressed. I forget what I said in that review, but I wasn't like over the moon about it. I liked Annihilation more, but I've never been like as passionate as everybody else. But I didn't hate him or anything. But this one, I did not see Leo. We might watch that. It's sort of like if my kids want to or not. But I just think it is like so basic and so broad. There's the whole idea of like, oh, America all hates each other, red state, blue state. What if they fought each other? Which I believe Dave Bautista was in a movie like that a couple of years ago, which sounded much more interesting than this. This just, it does sound so broad, as I said on Twitter. It sounds so broad, it's not saying anything. Because like, what is it saying about it? Like, it feels like just trying to like provoke people, but like, what is the purpose of provoking? It feels like provoking for nothing. It's like just being like, yeah, what if everybody really fought? Like, it's the Civil War, and it's like, okay, but what are you trying to say? And like, I didn't really get the perspective. I just got, no, it's a first trailer, and I get you're just showing the concept, but I really wasn't that blown away by it. I did like the I was just thinking of him as Landry from Friday Night Lights, but damn it, what's his name? Anyway, Landry from Friday Night Lights with the red sunglasses, and people kept having him do being like, how is this favorable to the people at Frito-Lay with that? I didn't particularly like it, and I've seen political satires that use actual things from like actual politics and have a crazy scenario. Like Punishment Park is I think one of the greatest political films ever made, but this doesn't really have that. It's just like, what if America was a civil war? And it's like, movies you watch on demand have already done that, and maybe they were probably a little more interesting because, people are not going to, people who are quote unquote more intelligent are not going to get on their high horse about it. They're just, I think, I just don't fully understand how I'm excited about this. Like, why isn't he doing sci-fi shit? Why is he doing something so broad? It was just I don't know. The second Civil War, wasn't that about like Canada and Michael Moore directed it, Cinerama? I think so. Um, Austin says Civil War looks like a Call of Duty campaign from 2009. Ouch. Cheers to you, Austin. As well as the IMAX thing was surprising, but I think IMAX wants to expand because with this is not going to be a great slate this year because of the strikes, because of still COVID shit. So I think like IMAX and a lot of those theaters are more willing to expand into other stuff and do different things in 2024. In 2025, that is not going to be the case if all those release dates stand. If they do, I mean, right now we're getting a Superman movie, a Batman movie, and 4 Marvel movies, like one of which is Fantastic Four, another which is Blade. If all of that stands, 2025 is going to be insane. So I do think companies like IMAX and other companies are going to do that more. Oh, that's not the second Civil War. Which one am I thinking of? Michael Moore did do an HBO thing. But anyway. The other thing, and I think this is a smart move in terms of expanding A24, is Hideo Kojima, who is not someone I fully understand the influence of. However, is doing a Death Stranding movie with A24 as video game movies continue to prosper, as we very much can see from the Super Mario this year and the 2 Sonic movies. I think this is a smart move. You're dealing with the developer himself, not the company as much. I think that could be actually a good move for video game movies. We'll see. Joe Dante directed it. Okay, thank you, Sarah. He did. Michael Moore did do one where at war with Canada. I know he did that. I'm thinking of a different movie, but I know Hideo Kojima made Metal Gear and stuff like that. But it's an interesting way to do it. I'm not gonna say the thing with A24. Look, film distributors are not themselves that interesting unless you're doing interesting marketing moves or something. I do think A24 did interesting things like getting art horror into the multiplex. That's really cool. But this whole like weird thing people have with A24. Look, I felt that way about, I know this is going to sound weird to everyone now, but Miramax in the 90s. They could do no wrong. I would see any stupid movie with Miramax. But then you sort of realize they're a film studio that does not necessarily just give them good taste. Janus Films did not release just straight up bangers all the time. So it to me it's like a little silly, but I do get like how people feel about A24, and I do find it obnoxious when people are like, "What movies do you like?" I'm like, "Well, I like A24 movies." I'm like, that's like saying you like Disney movies. That is the same fucking thing. Just because they're arty and those are like how Disney is and stuff. It's like so dull to me. I don't like that shit. Just say you like, I like horror movies. Makes sense. A24 movies. It's like saying like, what's your favorite food? I like 7-Eleven. And you're like, okay, I guess they do have food there, but I do think what A24 is doing is actually really interesting because it's like, okay, we're doing a Safdie movie with The Rock. That's interesting. Hideo Kojima is going to do something with them. That's actually interesting. Civil War, not so much. But I do find what they're doing, they're finding interesting ways about it. This could actually work out to them being like kind of a pretty cool mini major. I saw there was a I see there's a super chat there. I'm sorry. But I think it's interesting what's going on. I'm curious how it's going to hold up. But I think what they need to do, if I were them, is just make a cheap, lean genre thing. I think their best horror shit is when it's cheap and lean. And when they do expensive, like The Northman sort of, didn't they do that? Did they do that? I don't know if they did The Northman. No, didn't he jumped ship for that one. But I think I wouldn't mind if they got a good, lean, or a little bit arty action director, which every studio would like. So I don't know. But anyway, Canadian Bacon. Thank you, Robot Lomax. All right. Zane Powers says, would we beat Canada in a civil war? No, because they have free healthcare, motherfucker. We're going to lose. Cheers to you, Zane Powers. All right. Let's move on I think we're eating up time here. Although we did start late, so who the fuck knows where we are. Let's talk about... I'm going to do one about the Golden Globes and one about animated feature stuff, because I kind of wanted to get into it. But the Golden Globes nominations came out. Now, normally I'm supposed to be like, oh, nobody cares and all this stuff. Here's the thing about the Golden Globes. Here's the secret about the Golden Globes. I normally, and how it looked with the Golden Globes up until this announcement, is I honestly forgot that they actually got TV rights. If they didn't have the TV rights they had, when the Golden Globes happen, whoever wins them gets to give a big speech. That clip gets played almost everywhere. It is still a major celebrity, major covered thing. And those speeches and those winners do, and I'm serious about this, help Oscar campaigns. So as much as everyone's like, oh, they're so silly, they're so stupid, none of those other, like, there's so many dumb award shows, and there is problems with even the list they made for this. But it does sort of matter, like, who wins them. It does sort of matter a lot more than a lot of them. A lot of times people win and it's like, oh, whatever, but it does sort of help those celebrities and those movies a little bit. The only thing that a lot of people have criticized about the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globes is it feels like everything's done by committee and no one's coming up with like weird offbeat picks anymore. And I think it's because Oscar, all the awards categories are basically all wanting to be, sort of the prelude to the Oscar. Each one is like, oh, we predicted the Oscars, so you should show up and spend money, buy a table, and buy expensive food at our award show kind of thing. And they have a vested interest not to randomly pick a strange weirdo movie for Best Picture or something like that and be wrong. They want to be right. They want to pick The Holdovers and Killers of the Flower Moon and stuff. I haven't seen The Holdovers, and Killers of the Flower Moon is a good movie. I'm not against those things, but it used to be like, I always complained about the Independent Spirit Awards because they would have like 2 nominees or something that would get Oscar nominations, not an Oscar nomination, and it would usually be something that didn't win. And then for some reason they change their mind because they get more attention that way. But it also makes these like all super fucking boring and makes this whole Oscar campaigning stuff become so erroneous and just like so mind-boggling. It gets so dull. It's like it's just the same people. Like we actually know right now it like looks like Lily Gladstone's going to win Best Actress, Robert Downey Jr. is going to win Best Supporting Actor, and Joy Grace Randolph, I believe, is going to win Best Supporting Actress. And that's just going to like, they're just going to go all the way to the, that's like definitely what's going to happen at this point. So it's like how boring this is. And I think the Oscars did that as well. All right, so we had like Maestro. I don't really know what they're doing, but Best Motion Picture Drama, you have Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives. Zone of Interest, which is I think not really getting, you aren't hearing a lot about, but Past Lives is really getting a lot of support. Anatomy of a Fall, and the only I won't really go through all of these, but the Celine song from Past Lives, which I've shot a review for, I need to edit at some point. Looks like she's going to be an Oscar contender. But and a Best Screenplay nomination as well. I don't think she's gonna win like fucking anything, but I think it's just like good for her profile. It's gonna help her make movies in the future, which is great. But the main things here, the one thing that people kept pointing out was Jennifer Lawrence getting a Best Comedic Performance seemed to bother people for No Hard Feelings. I saw No Hard Feelings. I actually think she should get a nomination for that film. I thought she was really good. It was actually a little riskier star move to do a smaller comedy and bet on yourself in a comedic performance. She has always said she wants to do a comedy and did, and I thought she was really good in it. And that's what the Golden Globes used to do. They used to put a bunch of movie star nominations in there, so they would show up at the awards and stuff, and that's 100% what they did. But I actually thought I think No Hard Feelings is a great comedic performance, to be perfectly honest with you. But then, all of it's pretty normal, like blah, blah. They have Best Comedy Stand-Up, which just seems like a bizarre, like why would I want the Golden Globes deciding something like that? And I think they just picked Didn't they just pick like the biggest? Yeah, they just pick big people. It's like Ricky Gervais, Trevor Noah, Chris Rock, Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman, Wanda Sykes. Like very big people. Not even the people, comedians people are talking about. Like, what's the fucking point of that? I haven't seen Down to You ever, and I've always thought about it. And Cineram's definitely making me not want to talk about it, but ever see it. But then they have the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award, which is basically the like most popular movie thing the Oscars are going to do brought to life. My thing with this is it says Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. Where's the cinematic achievement? It's all box office hits. It's like Barbie, Guardians 3, John Wick 4, Mission Impossible Death Reckoning 1, Oppenheimer, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. And most of it is just to like the Taylor Swift thing is probably to get her to show up and stuff. I just didn't. It's like such a shitty idea for an awards. Like that's just honestly pretty pathetic to get people to come in. However, then I wanted to talk about what's going on with the animated films for Oscars and stuff like that. So in this Golden Globes, I don't think I didn't notice. Oh, Peaches is nominated for original song. Okay, good. That's good. For Best Animated Feature, they have 6 nominees for everything, which is obnoxious. Like, why 6? Like, just so you get more people in there. Best Animated was like Boy and the Heron, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Elemental, Super Mario Brothers movie, Suzami, and Wish. I would say right now it's between Spider-Verse and The Boy and the Heron. I wouldn't be surprised if it just goes to Spider-Verse again, but this might be the last time they can give Miyazaki an award. After that, it's like, I do think Elemental is in there. My only thing with Super Mario Brothers in general is that it is kind of a big deal that there was a Super Mario Brothers movie and kids like it and stuff. I think if I was voting, I would at least give pause to think about it. I don't know if I would vote on it necessarily. I think Ruby Gillman was a better movie. I'd probably put Ruby Gillman in there. But I don't know. I do think it's basically like those two and then just like a bunch of other nominees. Suzume? Okay, I'm sorry about that. I have actually not seen that one. But I think this is it's not worth getting upset about anything because it's either Boy the Heron or Across the Spider-Verse. Everything else is just sort of like kind of whatever, to be honest. Like, I think Elemental will probably get in there. I think Golden Globes are kind of bullshit, but my problem I've always had with the Golden Globes is we tried to do a Ruby Gillman review and it sort of didn't work because Sophie was going to direct it and she kept talking. Anyway, it didn't work. But I think it sort of doesn't matter because it's going to be one or the other. So the rest are just sort of in there. I think Elemental will probably get in there. I hope Chicken Run 2 gets nominated for, even though I haven't seen it, I hope Armin gets one. But it's sort of like, the animated feature thing is sort of fucked. I wish, because it's all big studios now, I wish Golden Globes, they used to put the animated films in musical or comedy and stuff like that and actually nominate animated films in the Best Picture stuff. But then when they made Best Animated Feature, that ended. Like Toy Story 2 won Best Musical or Comedy. Like Lion King won a Golden Globe one year. So I think Sleeping Beauty either won or was nominated. Like they would actually consider them along the other movies, but that sort of killed it, which is unfortunate. So Golden Globes are actually cool for something, for a little bit. Anyway, I know some of you do not care about award stuff, so we're going to move on. But I don't know if you saw yesterday, but Agnes Varda, one of the major directors of the French New Wave, and probably the only woman in the French New Wave, I'm pretty sure, got to be the Google Doodle. It was actually a cool one, showing her when she was older and younger at the same time. I thought that was really actually neat. So if you got a chance, I tweeted it out, but if you can look it up and you know who she is, you should, because it was actually really cool. Where am I? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I agree with Cornbread. They need to do they need to have. They used to like when that or like when I was talking about Secret of Kells. The reason I know it's about Secret of Kells is because it got an Oscar nomination. Like they used to reward smaller animated films, and now they like never do that anymore. It's just all the big studios, and it's like that category got like just very fucked. Um, so let's talk about the National Film Registry movies. The Copyright Office every year around December. I always love going. The Library of Congress. I'm sorry, Library of Congress selects 25 features joining the National Film Registry, which are the physical preservation of titles for all times. A lot of them were kind of bigger titles, which I agree should be in there, including Home Alone, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which should absolutely have probably been in there already. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Apparently their cutoff is films must be 10 years old, so 12 Years a Slave got in there the first year of eligibility. But yeah, I'm surprised Terminator 2 wasn't in there, Home Alone, and Nightmare Before Christmas. But I will actually go... This is like a thing I'm legit... I'm not being silly or something. I actually really... I actually get really into when these things come out. Because there's always like a weird... a weird thing in there. But I'll go through the big ones. I believe were things like Lady and the Tramp, Fame, Desperately Seeking Susan, I said Home Alone, Apollo 13, 11 Basketball, 20 Feet from Stardom got in there. I didn't realize that. The kind of two that I was most surprised by, one is there's a movie trip through Filmland, which I didn't realize that one. That's actually a pretty cool one. Isn't that a what's her name film who's married to Hearst? Isn't that what that is? Isn't it? No, it's not. It's in... Okay. Well, it's an early look at the Impact movies. I thought I'd seen that before. I'm thinking of a different movie. But the two one that really surprised me was Spike Lee's Bamboozled, which is not like an easy movie. I was a little surprised that got in there. That's kind of an interesting one to be in there. Madawan, I think, got in there as well. There's a lot of interesting ones, but Bamboozled being there, I was like, Bamboozled, interesting. But I know he has Do the Right Thing in there, but Bamboozled's like pretty radical movie. I'm a little surprised. I don't think I was shocked by that one, to be honest. That did not make the headline, but happy for them. They always pick like a offbeat film one. Oh, but Dinner at 8 was the other one. That's kind of a big one with a large cast. It didn't, I think it was only nominated, I think, for Best Picture in one or something like that. Kind of got in there, and I don't know. That's a good one. That's a nice little watch there. But Bamboozled's the one I was like, huh. I'm not so sold on Wonka. I think everybody's like super like Wonka. I also didn't. I kind of didn't really like. I watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as a kid, but I only watched it once because that tunnel I watched it. Well, I watched it more than once, but the first time I watched it, that tunnel sequence freaked me out, and I just like bounced. So, no one will save you. Oh my gosh! Yes, they do need to do this. Sorry, Sam. Cheers to you. Thank you for the generous super chat. Said, speaking of turning red and soul, I need Disney to put No One Will Save You in theaters. I agree with that. I like that movie a lot. I agree with that. That would be an awesome movie to see in theaters. And I would see that in IMAX. Cheers to you, Sinram. I agree. They should do other stuff too. Cheers to you. But yeah, it just wasn't. There's like two big movies that everybody is obsessed with from their childhood, and that I'm just like not as passionate about. It's like Charlie and Chocolate Factory and Grease, and I don't hate them. They just were not an obsession of mine. I just saw them like once or twice. I was like, that's neat. I guess you guys seem to really like it. Oh, and Prey. Good point, Austin. But I want to see Wonka, but I actually want to see Boy and the Heron, Aquaman 2, and I think the kids want to see Migration. So I know, sometime after that or something. But yeah, just Charlie Chocolate Factory. That sequence in the tunnel freaked me out, and actually, it freaked me out enough. I was like 5, and I was at a friend's house. This is a true story. I need to get a tissue after this because I'm like, anyway. I was at a friend's house. I was 5. My mom dropped me off at this friend's house. It was just within walking distance, and I saw that tunnel sequence, and I literally got up, walked out, and walked home. And I remember when I walked in to the my house, my mom was like, "Jim, you're not supposed to walk home by yourself." And I think he said something like, "Don't care, Mom. That movie was freaky." And there, she called him, and it was like, "Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? What the hell?" It's like the Gene Wilder one. This is in the 80s, but it's like my distaste for that sequence. But I did watch it in school a few times and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to go blow my nose. I'm going to mute so you don't have to listen to that. And then this is a quick break. And then we'll talk about the Zelda movie real quick. And I'll be right back. Sorry, I just need to blow my nose. Sorry about that. I just didn't want everyone to. I've been a little phlegmy. The only reason I want to see Aquaman 2 because it looks like ridiculous. I'm like, I need to see that on a big screen. But okay. Let's do a few more stories. And then at like 12, let's say 12:10. Let's give it 20 minutes and then I'll take a break. Then we'll do. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you didn't see the tweet, the segments are Miyazaki's. Hold on, I see that super chat. I just want to tell everyone real quick. Miyazaki's On Your Mark music video and Donkey's Caroling Christmas-tacular. Sorry, now I'm a little lost. Where was I? Okay, hold on. And Tunj723 said, "There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we're going. There's no knowing where we're rowing on which way the river's flowing." Okay, cool. I don't know what that meant, but thank you, Tunj723. Cheers to you. How much is Mr. Beast in Migration? I didn't know that. But that's interesting. He was in Ninja Turtles for so quick you would not even notice it. But anyway, all right. Let's do a few things, and then we'll just do straight trailers, other than Civil War, which I talked about. Wes Ball saying that the Zelda is going to be like a live-action Miyazaki was a weird thing to say. I do like him as a director. I thought that was a bad quote. Drew Goddard apparently is reportedly the choice between Sony and Marvel. The director they want to make Spider-Man 4 in case John Watts doesn't come back. That I know he's been in contention for so many different. Whoa, that was weird. Everyone notice that? That was weird. He's been in contention for a lot of different things. Is it like oh yeah, everyone just saw that. Okay. I just saw that happen in the thing. Maybe I should turn off the Christmas tree. I have a lot of stuff going on. I might. Whoa. Oh, it shut down the Mac there. Alright, I'm going to unplug the. Hold on. Might have. no. It was, sorry. Definitely, did it restart the computer? It's fine. It looks fine. Okay. A rolling blackout. Anyway, everything's, I think, okay. I might turn off. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, Drew Goddard was close to directing Sinister 6 at one point. That was going to be him. I think he was in contention for another thing. I think he would actually be a good director for a Spider-Man movie. I'd be cool about that. So, Coyote versus Acme updates. Let's definitely do that. Oh, also, sorry, in Marvel news, before we do that, there's the Eyes of Wakanda animated show that came out in the thing for What If, a press screening. It's apparently going to, through Wakandan history, brave warriors have been tasked to travel the world retrieving dangerous vibranium artifacts. This is their story. And I'm not sure if it's the Dora Milaje or other Black Panthers. It seems they mentioned the Dora Milaje more. It says one can imagine the possibilities, especially for the Dora Milaje, the elite group of warriors who serve as an all-female, from Wakanda and stuff. So we'll see what that's going to be. As well as there was a Moon Girl trailer that looked awesome, and that's coming back on February 2nd. I'm really excited for that, actually. But, sorry, I'm like, we have 10 minutes. Not 10, but, the, Coyote versus Acme updates. Here's what we know. Right now, there were rumors that studios working, or a streamer was considering buying it and having it on during Christmas because of all the press about Coyote vs. Acme. At this point, I would say that's probably not going to happen unless there's a deal like tomorrow or something. But from what has been reported by Deadline, Netflix made a bid for Warner's scrap thing. Paramount, Apple, and Amazon have seen the movie as well. Paramount has made a bid and wants to make potential theatrical release. I'm a little surprised. I thought Universal would have been a good home, to be honest with you. But I know Amazon's sort of talking about it, so it seems to be between Amazon, Paramount, and Netflix. I think if Paramount was going to be a theatrical component, good night, Dan. Thank you for coming out. That was I really appreciate it, by the way. So it's going to be interesting to see who finally makes the deal, but apparently because Warner's, despite that they Warner sort of like devalued it by saying they wanted a $30 million write-off. They would get a $30 million write-off. They still want $70 million for this movie. So it's like they devalued it, but then they're like, well, no, now we've undevalued it. So like you still got to pay back how much it costs and shit. So like I don't really understand what they're doing there, but I think they should just find it a home because they were going to make 30 and now they're off the tax write-off when they're going to do with it. And now they want the full budget. So it seems like that might happen, but the studios have seen it, are enthusiastic about it. Even the writer who wrote the article for Deadline, who had seen it, was enthusiastic about it, was mentioning things about a Porky Pig not wearing pants scene and stuff like that. So we'll see what's going to happen, but it does seem like it's moving forward in some degree, but I don't think we're going to see it this year, which the article strongly said it's a 2024 release. So I think that is probably going to be the case. I think with 2 months open and a lot of the year open, this is a good year for it. I think Paramount probably is the smartest choice. And Amazon does have a theatrical arm. Apple, I mean, has the money and probably could do that, or maybe even do it and have a distribution deal through Paramount, which would be hilarious. So we'll see what happens. But I think apparently one of the things I read in the article was that there are so many action sequences and cool scenes. They're actually having debates on what scenes should go in the trailer, which is not a normal thing you see from any movie, to be honest with you. All right. Where are we going from this? Okay, a lot of rolling blackouts here. We know that John Watt's next thing is going to be Brad Pitt and George Clooney as loan fixers assigned to the same job for Apple. That's interesting. and John Waters is going to be back as the. I've never seen the. Seen just the part of. I've seen just the John Waters, the clip of it, but I've never really seen the movie. But he's going to come back for the Chucky show apparently, so that's kind of cool for him. And all I wrote in my notes was Max Landis always sucked, so we're gonna stick with that. All right, so trailers. Has Been Hotel. There was finally the trailer for Has Been Hotel. The trailer finally came out. It looked cool. Okay. Sorry. The power thing messed some stuff up. It looked really cool, actually. It looked like Has Been with more budget and stuff like that. I actually like how the trailer made fun of ads and trailers within it. I thought was kind of an interesting thing, a little sub commentary there. But it does, the main thing, it just looks like kind of how that style plays, like a kind of big Disney Broadway musical type of thing, but it's like R-rated and stuff like that. In some way, I was never, look, I reviewed them because I thought people would check it out, but I'm not the hugest fan of I never got super into it, but I think it, I don't know, I sort of get why people would want to watch it. I thought it was a good trailer, and all that. Let's see. We had the Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer, which kind of was like one of those trailers that I think people were wondering what's going on with. When's that coming out? It's the only time I've seen a balloon at the Macy's parade for a movie before I've seen a trailer. But I thought it was a cool concept of like Poe having to find the next warrior and him becoming, kind of the mentor is an interesting idea. I'm not sure who that is. I saw a lot of backlash, including myself, as Awkwafina as a voice. Thing is like, I saw Johnny Cellos and a couple people saying like, you shouldn't have a problem with Awkwafina and stuff. I think the problem is like the black scent and stuff like that. It's not just and she's everywhere. And like, I think she's a good actress in The Farewell, but that was a bunch of years ago. And okay, having a bit of a frog in my throat there. I just think she's like so everywhere, it's like obnoxious. So I think it's like, I didn't dislike her in Raya. I liked her in Raya, but then it's like she's in Migration, she's in this, she's in that. It's like too much almost. I kind of wish she'd chill out a lot. But yeah, she's in Kung Fu Panda as well. But it looks like actually a promising premise. I hope for the best for that one. Then we have Carol and the End of the World. That looks like I think it premieres tomorrow or today. That looks like a really cool show about a middle-aged woman knowing that the world's going to end and what she's going to do from it. And I think yeah, I don't know. I'm curious about that show. I kind of wanted to like review the show, but it's like, I think one of the perils of putting out anything in December is there's all these Oscar movies, there's all this, and then there's Christmas stuff. It's just like such a hard time to like review anything for most people. So I think it's like not the greatest time. I sort of think Netflix, the more I think about it, is sort of bearing it, but maybe I'll get to it in January or something like that. We'll see. Okay, I might need to get oh man, I'm taking too many breaks here. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F was the thing with this is I recently rewatched Beverly Hills Cop because I saw it when I was a kid and I was getting it mixed up with Police Academy in my weird brain. And it's a funny movie, and most of what I like about the movie was how funny it is. It does have action sequences. And then when I watch this trailer, this is an action movie trailer. It looks like a fun action movie. But after this, I'm just getting water after I talk about this. I'm sorry. It looked like a fun action movie, but it was still an action movie. And then you had Um, you got Judge Reinhold come back, a few jokes, but it just like there was a small explosion at a Con Ed plant. Oh my god! Thank you, June J723. Sorry. Um, but the thing with it ultimately is I'm surprised we didn't lose internet. Jesus. Um, sorry. It just didn't showcase why I like Beverly Hills Cop. I would like to watch two. I've heard Tuesdays and nobody seems to like three. But I like Eddie Murphy coming back. I like him as an actor, but he often makes like sort of weird choices. And I think it just like it was sort of an off idea for the whole thing. So I'm going to grab some. Well, I think that's the energy drink. Let's see if I can get through Nathaniel Focus thing. I'm sorry it takes so many breaks. How about this? After, let's do the Nathaniel Focus super chat. Then I will take a break because I don't want to take a break, come back, leave again. Then I want to do the rest of the trailers, Obits, and we'll do the things because the Obits segment would have gone on for a little bit because there's obviously major ones. But Nathaniel Focus said she's like a major modern day Eugene Levy, where she may never she never says no to a project, and that's why you need her in so many. You see her in so many movies. That's accurate. I remember when he was in everything, and it took me a while to like him again because it's like, geez, I don't know. It's like the overexposure thing. I was thinking about that. It's like even with the movie trailer, it's like one of the things I didn't like about that trailer is like I've seen all these people in so many movies. Like I like an interesting cast, and it's like it just feels boring if you see the same people doing the same kind of performances again, which she does, and which Eugene Levy did too. So cheers to you, Nathaniel Foga. All right. I actually did feel better. Thank you. Bob Ross's. It's not really it's really the same as the Pickle Rick thing. But it's the same company. I think it's just the same thing. They just have different labels. But it is cool. I kind of like the fun of this. All right. I'm going to go drink some water, go to the bathroom, all that stuff. Then we'll do Obits. And then, oh, man. Okay. I'll do the, wow. Thank you, Syndrome. That's very generous. Okay. After Synram's thing, we'll do the Obits, do On Your Mark, all that stuff. But let me go to the bathroom. But let me do Synram's. When the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 3, this is historic. I don't remember this. Played in theaters. Everyone freaked out when Surge popped out at the end. Definitely the highlight of the trailer. I didn't know that about. I like that character. Wasn't he in? Am I wrong? Hold on, Surge. I want to make sure I got this right because I know them, but yes, that's who I thought. Okay. No, Surge, I saw him in the new one too. He wasn't, you could see him. I thought you saw him, but yes, he is always fun. Cheers to you, Sinram. Thank you for your generosity tonight. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll watch 2 and 3. I've kind of been going through a bit of a Eddie Murphy kick the past year, so every now and then I'll watch one of the classics. When I had COVID the first time, I watched Coming to America, and that was fun. But all the classic 80s ones I have mixed in my brain with Police Academy and Ninja Turtle cartoons, because I remembered when James Earl Jones comes into the barbershop. Sorry, I really should get some water. In my head, that was animated in the Ninja Turtles. And I remember this like, oh, that was part of the Ninja Turtles and they met a king or something. I don't know. It made sense to me. Or same with like when Axel is chasing with the truck in the beginning. That was like, that was Eddie Murphy with Steve Guttenberg or something. Like my brain was totally, but I'd seen these like in the 80s when I was a little kid and I was watching Ninja Turtles and Police Academy cartoons. So it all got, so I'm kind of like decluttering my brain, my film memory. I may have told you guys that before. I don't know. But anyway, that's cool. That's a cool memory, Sinram. Thank you for sharing that with us. I like Sinram's got to experience theaters before I did. So I like hearing his memories. All right. I'm going to probably turn off a few lights because I'm scared now. But I will be right back and get myself together a bit, and then we will do the Obits because I do need to talk about that and the few trailers. I will be right back, and thank you for your patience. Okay. Hello. I think it is Cinerama. I think it is Brunson. He has like long hair and he's in a car in one. You can't not have him, I think, in Beverly Hills Cop. You can't not. I think that would be. I didn't mention TMNT in the animated feature thing. I'm not sure of its chances, honestly, but I think that might be better for that film to grow in esteem. I'm curious about that, but I've noticed more and more parents are like, hey, that was like really good, so I hope people do. Anyway, the Pixar lamp? Oh, it's not really, but wait, 2 didn't have him? So you haven't seen 2, or if I did, it's a long time. Why would you not have him? Maybe that was like, I wonder why. Was he busy? Curious. I want to know why. I think 2 wasn't that Chris Rock's first thing. Anyway, the other trailers I wanted to talk about. True Detective Night Country looks like legitimately good. True Detective season 3, I feel like people sleep on. It was actually pretty good. I know season 2 is like not great, but season 3 was good. I'm excited for Night Country. It looks cool. Jodie Foster and all that. And the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer with Godzilla becoming pink in that sequence is honestly really amazing. I thought that was a fucking great little fun trailer. It looks more like they've gone like, I think Godzilla in America is obviously not going to fully work. So I think like going silly and goofy like Adam Wingard has is like kind of a good look. So it looks fun. I think I might take at least Sophie too, but Godzilla being pink was fun, and them like running is pretty funny. Wait, what the new one is? I thought. Hold on. Zilla versus Kong. Okay, the first one is directed by Adam Wingard, but the sequel is not? No, it is directed by Adam Wingard. What? Why did you confuse me? Maybe he's talking about something else. Anyway, yeah, that looked like a lot of fun. Or are you talking about True Detective? Maybe he's talking about True Detective. Oh, okay, he meant True Detective. If this look, yeah, the cast is so fucking boring in this, and it's just like everyone talked about Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. It just didn't look like as imaginative as it thought it was, and I just like wasn't really feeling it, to be honest with you. It's like the character design is like, don't look at it, and it's just like a guy with his eye. Like, we can do freakier than that. It just like felt like what a person who doesn't like cartoons thinks cartoons is. It just really wasn't as imaginative. And finally, I actually saw a trailer for the Willie Nelson and Family docuseries about him. I just like Willie Nelson, and it looked like a cool show. I wanted to tell you guys about it. It comes out on December 31st. I like Willie Nelson, so I don't fucking care. He's great. We should appreciate him more. We should watch that. I have Paramount Plus. I'm gonna watch it. So Cinerama confirmed Surge is back for Hills Cop 4. All right, so Obits. I have like 3 kind of big ones. So I wanted to talk about those for a minute. I hope this. Oh man, this is gonna be tight tonight. All right. Maybe the Tommy Tubi bit was too long. Ninja Turtles Mayhem was the first animated film they ever did? Why is that? That's kind of lame, but that's interesting. So Norman Lear died recently. When I was first kind of a teenager, I got really into All in the Family because people like South Park and other people talked about how it was such a big show for them, and I wanted to check it out, and I got obsessed, and I actually printed out on my coffee table. We had a printed out episode guide for All in the Family, and I would like check off ones I'd seen. I think I saw most of them then. I kind of want to rewatch it. I hear it's on streaming now. I was obsessed with that show. As well as One Life to Live. Is it One Life to Live? The recent one he did. He's such a great producer and so smart, and even worked on South Park. I thought he worked on that whole season that started with the I think it was like called Canceled. I thought he did that whole season, but when I looked it up, it just said certain episodes, and I know he advised on South Park, particularly starting in that period, which I think that period like really got noticeable improvement when he got involved and helped like with writing and stuff. He was an absolute legend, and to go from everything from One Day at a Time, right? No, was it One Day at a Time? Yeah, One Day at a Time. The reboot was really good. I really like that show. But to go from everything he did to the socially conscious stuff he did to, but particularly like All in the Family is a real titan, amazing American show. I would still bring that up, but I think it is. He did an amazing job. Even had the company that brought us Spinal Tap. Austin brought up Maud. Just an indelible, the Jefferson, indelible part of American culture. Someone who I've always really looked up to. I even made a little pilgrimage, not really, but did a DC trip, which was just to see Archie Bunker's chair at the Smithsonian. It really meant something to me. But it was really sad to see someone, a real titan of television, who even got like every network put up a title card the day he died as a tribute to him at 8:00, which is pretty insane. I'm sad to see him go. He's over 100 years old, but like the amount of things he influenced and created in his life is really outstanding. And the fact to go from so many different eras, from All in the Family to, introducing it to Spinal Tap, to helping with South Park. And it's like, what a amazing kind of producer, kind of executive person, to leave such an insane landmark. I mean, that is just like pretty remarkable. I mean, to be perfectly honest, to like go from the thing that influenced South Park to change it to having a good show on Netflix with Rita Moreno, to just like everything he did in his life is just awe-inspiring. I don't think 70s TV doesn't get the same respect that 70s cinema does, but All in the Family is a real amazing show. If you ever have a chance to check it out, I really recommend it. Next up is Andre Braugher. I have a different perspective on him, I guess. Maybe for most of you, because most of you probably know him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I knew him from Homicide: Life on the Street. And that was, he had the episode called The Box, which apparently they parodied on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, is what I've been told. And when he was in the interrogation box, he would do these epic, acting kind of exercises. It was just like I watched it when it came on, Homicide, and you do these insane interrogation scenes, and the acting was amazing, and led by him being this like superstar interrogation detective. But the episode he did that's just the interrogation box is really amazing. But those would always be the best parts of the episode, where you let Andre Braugher like really get in there and decipher person. And Homicide had like Melissa Leo, had Yaphet Kotto, had like an insane cast, but he was just far and away the standout. Such an interesting actor and so good. And I mean, that's the show David Simon came from before The Wire and stuff. But I don't think Homicide is streaming. A lot of people said that will be corrected after his death. We'll see. But he, when they gave him the Best Actor Emmy, I think it was mainly because the show was ending, and they're like, have you seen how good he is, and that like we have to give him this Emmy. I remember the sentiment at the time, because he was just so outstanding in the show. It was just some amazing acting. I don't know. I really recommend Homicide: Life on the Street. I've always tried to follow him. I think I watched the FX show Thief or something for a little bit, and I do want to actually eventually watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because I've always loved him as an actor, and heard nice stories about him, because Homicide filmed in Baltimore, and that's where I grew up. So I hope he's remembered well, but he was such a great actor. I wish we got to see him in more stuff. He was just wow. And finally, Ryan O'Neal, I think, one of the great heartthrobs of 70s filmmaking. He was in Barry Lyndon. He was in Love Story. He was Bogdanovich's muse. He was in Peyton Place. Was it Peyton Place, the TV show? He just a real huge heartthrob of the 60s and 70s. Married to Farrah Fawcett, all that stuff was almost sadly, I think. I wish I'd gotten sort of more of a comeback sort of thing, but never did, sadly. But a real kind of like major movie star figure of the 60s and 70s. All right, now I'm going to kick it hardcore and do On Your Mark first. Let's do On Your Mark first. I'm going to drink some of this. I know it's for Super Chats. I just want some energy. It's gotten late. It's a long day at work today. All right, so On Your Mark, the music video. It is done by, hold on. On Your Mark is a music video directed by, what? Okay. Is directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It was made in the song was released in 1994, but in 1995, Hayao Miyazaki made this film. It is a song by Chage and Asuka, I think. I don't really like the song. Hold on, I have a super chat. Sinram, again, being very generous. Thank you very much for your generosity tonight. Said, sorry. I was very big on Andre Braugher in Glory. I didn't know who Denzel was at the time, so when people went gaga over Denzel in that film, I thought they were talking about Braugher. I've actually heard that before. Because people, to sort of explain where Sinram's coming from, and someone explains to me, you didn't have IMDb then, so if people said, who is that guy, and like, if you didn't know the character name or it'd been a while, you're like, oh, who do they mean? And I actually heard that about that movie before. But cheers to you, Sinram. Thank you for your generosity. And yeah, I've actually not seen Glory, and I think I might need to correct that soon. So cheers to you. Thank you very much. Miyazaki made this music video. Apparently these two guys, Chage and Aska, had contacted Studio Ghibli about possibly making a music video before this, and apparently they were big enough to do that. I'd never really heard of these guys, and I don't actually like this song, but and I'd seen this before once, but I forgot how truly insane this music video is, because at first you see images and you see these guys driving, and there's like this girl with wings flying, and you're like, oh, this is going to be a peaceful music video, ladies flying with wings. You hear the song, you see the beginning of it, this car's driving in a field, you're like, oh yeah, I love Hayao Miyazaki, this is great, it's wonderful. And then you see some Blade Runner underground city world, and then you see this weird church, and then you see cops break in, you're like, oh, I guess there's something going on here, and then they just fucking shoot everybody. You're like, wait, what happened to that girl with the wings? And they're just like killing motherfuckers left and right. This music video is still being all like a sweet little ballad, and you're like, what is going on, Hayao Miyazaki? And like everybody's dying all around you, and you're just like, why is this changing? There's sound effects at the same time. What the hell? Obviously, they could not say no to him artistically, so he was just like, yo, I'm just doing this. And first off, the cops kill like everybody. It's On Your Mark, because they didn't miss a mark, because they killed everybody in this weird future church or whatever. But after they literally slaughter everyone, not a joke, that is what happens, they find this girl who has wings. We presume she's genetically modified or something. We're not sure. Miyazaki has actually said this was not to be literal. This is probably because he was having writer's block while making Princess Mononoke, and wanted to work on this side project to kind of free him from his writer's block. So he decided he's going to make some weird shit, basically. Also, everyone knows, by the way, Miyazaki had a long-standing feud with Guns N' Roses, and he was not going to let something as excessive and crazy as November Rain be the awesome music video in the 90s, so he had to do his shot. And if you think about it, he definitely probably hated Chinese democracy. So this has been a long-standing feud. Look it up. He totally hates it. It's like, why would you use your illusion? I'm going to make Spirited Away. This is a stupid bit. I'm going to move on. But after these cops kill everybody. These two cops who found the girl with the wings help get her into this kind of help get her out, and she's taken away to kind of like be experimented on. The cops then free her and basically attack all the scientists who are trying to look at her, and then she's able to fly away and then assume that their lives are ruined. Anyway, I don't understand all that, but the animation is really, really good. It's sort of strange and weird, but it seems like Miyazaki sort of just had the basics of an idea and just sort of ran with it. That's kind of the cool thing about music videos. You don't have to fully get into those things because they're super short. And that's basically what he does here. This was actually released by released before Whisper of the Heart as a short. So it sounds like they got a lot of exposure out of this. I don't know if it was played on like the MTV in Japan or something like that, but who knows. If you're into Hayao Miyazaki, I actually do recommend this, but this is not really like the movies at all. It just seems like it sort of reminded me of more of his Nausicaa era or Future Boy Conan, if anything, but it does feel like somebody just kind of like expressing ideas and sort of having fun artistically. It doesn't feel like he had much of a point other than like, if someone had wings, wouldn't you want to let them free? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't like this song, which is kind of why I've seen this before in the 90s. Someone got me a cool bootleg of it. And the non-linearness of it, like it cuts back to stuff which is sort of boring. I do think it is a good overall music video, but I think part of a good music video is you have to like the song, which I don't, but the animation and Miyazaki's direction is so outstanding and very strange. It's definitely stranger Miyazaki. So maybe I haven't watched The Boy and the Heron, but maybe it's good to watch. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to. Maybe it's good to watch before. I don't know, but it is definitely like a thing that you're like, wow, that you really went for that in this one. It's kind of really strange. I would like to see it in the movies, and if I had seen this when I was like 12 or something, when this originally came out, I think I would have like absolutely loved it. Before I like had better taste in music. So I think that that sort of ruins it, but I like watching this like bizarre exercise that Miyazaki did while he's trying to sort of figure out Princess Mononoke. It's sort of, probably one of the weirder Coca-Cola is in this. It's definitely one of the weirder kind of weirder jam animation things I've seen in a while, and it was definitely cool and interesting in a music video way. I don't know if it has a broader point, so maybe that's why it's not brought up as much, but it still is cool to watch, and maybe it's just cool to sort of work out ideas by an animation great, and it's cool for us to sort of watch it. All right, now let's talk about the other segment. We might go a little long tonight because I want to get some questions, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone, if you have work tomorrow and I'm ruining it. You can tell your boss to blame me, and they'll be like, who's that? I'm still mad at you. All right. So Donkey's Caroling Christmas-tacular. So this, I guess, will sort of be connected to my Shrek Forever After review, because this is sort of a follow-up to that film. I know at this time you guys haven't seen that review yet. It's not out yet, but soon it will be. What was I going to say? Sorry. But this was actually kind of interesting because from what I found on IMDb, all the original voices came back, which I was sort of in disbelief on. But this, which is called Donkey's Christmas-tacular, I've noticed some people say it's called Donkey's Christmas Shrek-tacular, there's like this weird other title, which I don't know if they changed the title card, because this seems like a thing they just put on like if Shrek the Halls gets another DVD release or something. Because I don't think this was ever aired on TV. It just plays on DVDs and stuff. It was in the Shrek 4 DVD, and I think it's just like one of those weird short films they made basically. But it's sort of just they sing 4 songs. You get you get Donkey, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, Mike Myers, all those people, or at least according to IMDb, it did sound like them. But I think it's not great or anything. It's sort of up there with their like far, far away idol thing, but it is kind of works within its, like, if you're going to watch like a Christmas thing after Shrek the Halls, it works fine. But you basically see Donkey walk around. It takes over the short takes place in the candy apple, which is the new version of the poison apple that place in those. And Donkey sings The Most Wonderful Time of Year, Fiona, Shrek, and the Org Kids, and the Army of Orgs, which includes John Hamm. John Hamm's in this, but not Jane Lynch, who I guess has a better agent, sings Jingle Bells, but they change it a bit. And then Puss in Boots sings Feliz Navidad, but instead it's Feliz Navidad about its fleas, which is, I think, mildly offensive. And then everyone sings Jingle Bell Rock as Fairy Tale Rock. It's just a fun little Christmas thing. I don't know. The Shrek Christmas stuff, I think the specials work a little better than this, but this is just a fun little extra thing. I'm just surprised it got everyone and has a distinctive play. I mean, is this the furthest the Shrek continuity with Shrek goes? Is this the end point at this point, I think? But it just shows them all kind of hanging out and stuff. I don't think it has anything really that special or anything to say other than, like, let's walk around and have Christmas songs. But I don't think it wanted to be anything more than that. It kind of shows you a little bit of, like, the thing with Shrek at that point, which was like, let's just have them do a thing, and they sort of forgot about why and the purpose of the whole thing is. I mean, you had Rumpelstiltskin back in a cage. You had certain things like that. You kind of see where everyone ended up. It's a nice little button on it. But I think unlike Shrek Dolls or unlike a real special, you sort of question, like, some of the DVD stuff they used to make. Like, I like DVDs and stuff, but a lot of it felt extraneous and, like, not necessary, and felt like oh, I guess this is I guess you did this. I guess this is why you paid the extra money. But I kind of like it more like the Shrek Halloween special, which was maybe the best of them, had a real point to it. This is just like they sing a bunch of Christmas songs, and it's like, if that's what you're looking for, it's I think it's decent at that, because you get everyone back. They put a little bit of a Shrek spin on it and stuff, but it would have been more fun if they did something like actually talking about fairy tales and Christmas and stuff like that. It just feels like they're just having the characters do stuff for the sake of doing stuff, and maybe that's like why at the time people were sort of sick of it. But if you want to just relax and watch, Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy sing some Christmas songs, and watch Puss in Boots get scratchy while singing Feliz Navidad, I guess this is exactly what you want from that. But I think if you're looking for anything more from Shrek, I don't think this is. I think this is probably one of the lower end of the shorts that I have reviewed, because it just, even if they're saying a point that's not warranted or something, I think all this is saying is like, look, they're going to sing some songs, and it's called Donkey's, what's it called? Sorry. Donkey's Caroling Christmas-tacular. If it's called that, what do you expect from it? It does exactly what you want, and then it's over. So I think, buyer beware, because that is exactly what it is. So maybe I should have just read the title and just sat down and enjoyed a bunch of the Shrek characters just singing some Christmas songs. All right. I'm going to do questions below. I'm going to do the rest of the Patreon questions. Sorry, it's getting late and I have to clean the kitchen. I don't know if the timestamps will be tonight, but we'll see. The weird thing about Bob Ross, I gotta say though, is like when I was a kid, because I grew up with him on TV, it was just like the boring thing that came on after Sesame Street. Now, like, people like him. So, but I was a little kid then. But anyway, here are the Patreon questions. If you're a patron, you also get this part of the stream every time. What is your favorite? This is from Jordan Bouchard. What is your favorite Miyazaki film and why? I might have asked this before. LOL, can't remember. I don't think anyone has. My favorites are probably between, I don't know. It is hard. I would say Kiki and Spirited Away are kind of the two tied for me. I think Kiki I like more, and Totoro would be like the third under there. But Spirited Away I have such a special place in my heart, because it's the first. Well, it's not the first one I saw in theaters, but it's the first one I saw in New York in theaters. But I don't know. I do really like Kiki. I think it'd probably be Kiki if we're going favorite. I think if I was going to go best, I'd say Spirit Away. Nathaniel Fogo, what's your favorite food that you only have during the Christmas season? My wife makes these things called maple rolls, and I really like those. So I would say that. Austin says, "Hey Jim, what a great show. I wanted to wish you and everyone happy holidays, happy New Year. My question was, what was the first Godzilla movie you watched and favorite Toho Godzilla movie that isn't -1?" I don't know. I don't know if my first one was Godzilla King of Monsters, like the original, or Godzilla vs. Mothra, but they would play on TNT and TBS a lot, so I assume it was one of those. A lot of them, like, I'm not sure how many I've seen from that era, because we would watch them and they'd play one, like, every day. So I think at one time I'd seen most of the Showa stuff, but I don't remember. What was the other? Sorry. My favorite Toho Godzilla movie, I would say Gojira, but if not Gojira, because basically it would be Godzilla vs. Mothra, I would say one of the two of the Showa ones. I would say one of those. So I know it's a basic one, but anyway. Sorry it's so late and I made everyone tired. Let's go through a few of these and we're gonna end in 10 minutes or so. Question: my first R-rated movie seen in a theater without an adult guardian was Glory. What was yours? Without an adult guardian is an interesting. See, that makes it interesting because I saw R-rated movies with a guardian, but without a guardian, I don't actually. Might have been Dogma, but what we used to do is she would buy the ticket and then just hand me the ticket and say, "Here you go in." Like, it was just like, my mom was like, leave me alone. I got stuff to do. So I think, although with that assistant, one I bought myself was probably something at the Charles, the art theater, because they really didn't care. And, maybe Magnolia? Something like that? Possibly. Is drinking that Bob Ross drink disrespectful to his family? Probably. I mean, do they get money from it? Maybe not. Anyway, cheers to them, I guess. Cornbread. I saw you talk about that cool rubber hose shooter game coming out in 2025. Mouse. Unrelated. So, how's Cuphead going? This is not a joke, but is it on MacBook still? I never really got to play. I don't really have extra time for gaming, to be honest with you. So I think that's a problem. But Sophie's getting a little more into it, so maybe I don't think she should play a first-person shooter, but I don't know. It did look really cool, so maybe. But I said the same thing about Cuphead, and I don't know, I didn't even get to finish the show, unfortunately. So, oh well. Zane Powers us. Now that he's older, do you think Jake Lloyd could do a good Anakin Skywalker? Yeah, I guess so. I'm surprised he hasn't come back. They brought everybody back. Carter Wright, have you seen The Bear Who Slept Christmas from 1972? No, I don't know what that is, actually. Nathaniel Foga, seen any of the new season of Aqua Teen? I did the short, and I reviewed the first two. I think I would like to do a stream next week on Wednesday of next week. If I've finished all of that season, I'll do a little review of that, is my plan. I'd like to finish that season. I haven't gotten to watch too many of them. I don't think I watched any of them. Corbin, when we get novelty energy drink chat in the Discord, I actually think I need to start writing down which ones I have, because I was like, when I picked that one up, I'm like, wait, which of the ones I've done? Where are we on this? Like, I was a little confused, so I think I need to do that. Maple Roll Monday. Maple rolls are so fun. Oh, cool. I'm glad you like them. They're yummy. Question: what's the sequel you're still waiting to happen from Nathaniel Foga? I guess I'm Home Alone with Macaulay, probably. Would you rather have a Turboman doll or a Booster doll? Probably a Turboman one. What's the sequel? You asked me that. Is the 1998 Godzilla movie just misunderstood? No, it's not. It's not that good. I wish people would not bring it up, to be honest with you. Cornbread, have I misunderstood both Godzilla and Ghibli movies for my entire life? All these YouTube videos keep saying They're apolitical and not woke, and why is Brie Larson in the thumbnail? I think there's a lot of people who don't understand either of those movies, to be honest. I don't think it's Brie Larson's. Oh my God, how much? So many people like get so mad at her. It's like, Jesus. Thoughts on Zane Powers, thoughts on Paramount trying to get people into Star Trek with trendy rappers. I don't know what that is about. I do think the interesting thing about Paramount's thing with the Star Trek is I don't know anyone who wasn't into Star Trek before who's watching those shows. And I'm a little curious, like, what the future is of that franchise with that. I'm not trying to say what's going on is bad. I'm just saying. So, Thanophoga, I've answered a lot on the Thanophoga, but I'll answer this one. Favorite Christmas song? The Waitress's Christmas Wrapping, probably. Zane Powers, can Max Landis make a comeback? And if so, how he do it? Probably being obnoxious. Non-plausible thoughts on the Weird Al show. I remember liking it when it was on Saturday morning. That's all I can remember. I'm sorry. Nathaniel Fogel, worst Christmas film of all time. That I'm not sure, to be honest. Probably something Hallmark, I guess. Just process of elimination. Would Christian Bale make a good adult Link? Maybe, Carter, right? Maybe. Let's see. What is your DJ name? Not plausible. I think my DJ name is Butt Itches, to be honest. Is there anyone who didn't ask a question? I think I'm getting a little tired. So I think we're going to say goodnight. Jingle all the way to you. Good night, Austin. Thank you for being here. Sorry these are always so late on a weeknight. I want to thank everyone for coming out. In general, it's always really appreciated. Thank you for everyone who did a super chat. I really do appreciate that. It's cool, Austin. Go to bed. We're finishing up. Anyway, thank you all very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the segments. I hope you enjoyed the show. I will try to start these earlier one time. I hope so. Knock footage is back. I'm glad someone got that. Anyway, tomorrow the Film Route video thing is coming out. I will tell you, I will do a tweet tomorrow really announcing it, but since you all stayed, most of you stayed the whole thing, it is about the Akira slide. And it is a song, even though it is the third episode. The fourth episode will be soon after that. So I hope you will enjoy that. But if you are a patron, please check it out. I'm really proud of it. I worked very hard on that song. And I really would like you to check it out if you can. But otherwise, you can watch it tomorrow. There'll be a premiere and everything like that. Good luck to all of you. I hope the power stays on. I'm a little nervous now. And I will see you all next time. All right. I'll see you now and have a good night. And, oh, sorry. There we go. There we go. Have a good night and I'll see you next time. All right. Peace. Bye-bye.